Several years ago, I had the opportunity to participate in a strategic war game simulation alongside a group of 15 experts at the Pentagon. Among them was David Dollar, a U.S. Treasury delegate specializing in Asia, whose surname humorously echoed his role as an advocate for the dollar's worldwide dominance. As we delved into discussions, the focal point turned to the economic sanctions levied against Iran, a topic of heightened significance given the geopolitical tensions preceding the Ukraine conflict. In this dynamic setting, our dialogue encapsulated the intricacies of international finance and the intricate interplay between economic policies and global power dynamics. Seated next to David Dollar, I couldn't help but contemplate the implications of our conversation. Here was a pivotal moment where the ramifications of economic sanctions and their role in shaping geopolitical strategies were laid bare. As we dissected the nuances of U.S. policy towards Iran, it became evident that the dollar's status as the global reserve currency imbued such discussions with profound implications. The intersection of economic prowess, diplomatic maneuvering, and military strategy underscored the multifaceted nature of modern warfare, where financial tools wield as much influence as traditional military might. I acknowledge the effectiveness of these sanctions, but caution that excessive weaponization of the dollar could backfire. How long can you keep punching the punching bag before it gets up and walks away? I asked. David slammed his hands on the table. The U.S. dollar has been, is, and always will be the global reserve currency. His emphatic declaration echoed a misplaced confidence I'd seen before. Throughout history, we've witnessed numerous instances where nations, buoyed by their economic prowess and global influence, have confidently proclaimed the enduring supremacy of their currencies. Consider the case of Britain in 1913, with its officials likely extolling the unassailable dominance of the British pound sterling. However, as history teaches us, such declarations of invincibility often precede moments of reckoning. Hubris, as evidenced by Britain's experience, can be a perilous trait, blinding great powers to the realities of a rapidly changing world. Indeed, the belief that dominance is a birthright rather than a continuous endeavor to earn trust and maintain credibility can lead to complacency and vulnerability. The lessons of history are clear. Trust and credibility are fragile commodities that demand constant nurturing and vigilance. The United States, despite its formidable economic and military stature, is not immune to this reality. As the torchbearer of the global financial system, it must heed the cautionary tales of past empires and recognize that maintaining the preeminence of the U.S. dollar requires more than mere assertion. It necessitates a steadfast commitment to transparency, accountability, and prudent stewardship of the economic policies that underpin its currency's status. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't believe our enemies can destroy the dollar. Only we have the power to do that. Discussions about China potentially replacing the U.S. as the global reserve currency often highlight their lack of essential elements: a robust bond market, primary dealers, auctions, and the rule of law. While all true, these arguments recently led me down a new path of thinking about the emergence of the BRICS currency. Delving into the historical intricacies of wartime financing unearthed a captivating artifact: a World War I Liberty Bond poster featuring Lady Liberty, her torch symbolically replaced by a bond, urging Americans to rally behind the war effort. This poignant image catalyzed profound contemplation, prompting me to explore broader themes in my book, The New Great Depression, which scrutinizes the contemporary landscape shaped by the ongoing pandemic and the specters of inflation and deflation. Amidst this research, a startling revelation emerged from the annals of the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. While the causative agent of the virus remained a mystery, medical experts possessed a fundamental understanding of its transmission. Remarkably, their foresight led them to caution against a grand Liberty Bond parade in Philadelphia, underscoring the delicate balance between public morale and public health during times of crisis. This historical anecdote serves as a poignant reminder of the interconnectedness of past and present, illuminating parallels between the challenges faced by societies a century ago and those confronting us today. As we navigate the complexities of the modern era, characterized by global pandemics and economic uncertainty, the lessons gleaned from past experiences offer invaluable insights into crafting effective responses to contemporary crises. Moreover, they underscore the importance of informed decision-making and the critical role of public health considerations in shaping policy responses, highlighting the enduring relevance of historical narratives in guiding our path forward. Their warnings were ignored. Wartime morale superseded public health, and extreme censorship stifled any dissent. Ironically, the Spanish flu got its name because, unlike the warring nations, neutral Spain freely reported on the pandemic. This historical vignette is surprisingly relevant to finance. Companies like E.F. Hutton, Dean Witter, and Merrill Lynch, now household names, were born in the era around WWI. The Liberty Bond signaled a pivotal shift, the creation of a retail investment market. Prior to WWI, war financing came from wealthy financiers. Liberty bonds changed that, giving rise to a market built on individual investors. Could the BRICS currency follow a similar bottom-up model? Let's consider a hypothetical Brazilian investor offered a choice between a real-denominated bond and a BRICS-denominated bond. An overnight switch is unlikely, but this scenario points to the possibility of an organically developing retail bond market within the BRICS bloc. Such a market, over time, could form the bedrock of eventual reserve currency status. The BRICS nations aren't leaving anything to chance. They're creating their own secure infrastructure, like the BRICS cable, to bypass US-tapped undersea communication lines. After all, I've seen the global telecommunications map firsthand, including the vulnerable choke points. The BRICS are acutely aware of US abilities to not just eavesdrop, but to shut down the internet between entire continents. In the aftermath of being excluded from Western financial systems, the response from these nations has been resolute. They've embarked on constructing their own robust infrastructure. The expulsion from platforms like Visa or MasterCard in Russia, coupled with stringent limitations on international dollar transactions for banks, served as a catalyst for the realization that relying on external systems posed significant vulnerabilities. This realization is particularly potent given the stature of Russia, boasting the 12th largest economy globally, alongside possessing the largest landmass and nuclear arsenal. The imperative to assert financial autonomy became glaringly evident, prompting a strategic pivot towards developing indigenous financial mechanisms that offer resilience and sovereignty. The decision to forge an independent financial system reflects not only a pragmatic response to external pressures, but also a strategic assertion of national sovereignty. By creating their own financial architecture, these nations seek to insulate themselves from undue influence and safeguard their economic interests against external coercion or manipulation. Furthermore, this endeavor underscores a broader trend of geopolitical realignment, wherein countries increasingly prioritize self-reliance and strategic autonomy in navigating the complexities of the global financial landscape. In essence, the pursuit of financial independence represents a decisive step towards asserting agency and resilience in an ever-evolving geopolitical paradigm. It's important to note, a BRICS currency won't eliminate local currencies like the yuan or rupee, but crucially, it allows BRICS countries to settle accounts amongst themselves in a currency outside the dollar's sphere of influence. The BRICS currency initiative is a strategic masterstroke. It offers a real alternative to the US dollar's dominance, potentially hastening its decline. Don't let skepticism fool you. This is a battle of long-term vision, and the dollar may have finally met a worthy opponent.